This is NHTV2, North Haven Government Television, a service of North Haven Community Television. The following program is brought to you through the support of the Town of North Haven.
Hi, good evening, and welcome to the December 2022 meeting of the Board of Police Commissioners for the Town of North Haven. My name is Larry Lazaroff, Chairman. To my left is Robin Wilson, our Vice Chairman. To my right is Mark Calafiore, our Secretary. To his right, Commissioner Alden Mead, and to his right, Commissioner Robert Hannon. I'd like to ask for an approval of the minutes for the November 15th, 2022 meeting, both regular and executive sessions.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Great. Any correspondences?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we have three pieces of correspondence tonight. The first one is from Congresswoman Rosa DeLauro. She wants to thank Lieutenant Matt Falcon for attending a community fair service on September 10th, a couple months ago. And she writes, in part, your participation helped to make a difference in the lives of those who attended. So good job, Lieutenant Matt Falcon. And this one is from Director Charles W. Sherwood, who is the director of the South Central Criminal Justice Administration, and he wrote a letter to Chief Kevin Glenn thanking him for allowing Captain Joe Wozniak to serve as a panelist. Lastly, we have one from, looks like Andy and Carmela Proto, and they just want to thank Officer Carrie Maciog for her for helping them out on a little issue that they had. They came to the police station and Carrie was there. She was very professional, very empathetic and sympathetic to their needs, and she assisted them in a minor matter that was resolved very quickly. So good job, Officer Carrie Maciog, and that is it.
Excellent, excellent, thank you. For the Chairman's report, I'd like to start off by congratulating our Deputy Chief Stavridis for completion of the FBI Academy course, and I'm sure maybe you'll give us a little synopsis at some point this evening. Maybe you'll explain the Yellow Brick Road. I'd also like to congratulate the graduates of the Police Academy. We have 4 that graduated in the last couple of weeks. I'm sure the Chief will expand upon that. I'd like to thank the community and the officers for organizing the toy drive that was very successful as always. I'm sure the Chief will talk about that as well. I want to just make it brief and wish everybody, I guess at closing, I'll wait for that. That's all for my report. That's up to you, Chief.
Thank you. I'd like to echo that and not only congratulate and welcome the Deputy Chief back after attending the FBI National Academy for 11 weeks down in Quantico, Virginia. The Deputy Chief will touch briefly on his experience down there, the classes he took and his experience. But it's really not only a feather in the Deputy Chief's cap, but a feather in the cap for the agency and the town to have another graduate from the FBI National Academy. It says a lot for the commission, the support from the town, the administration, and it goes a long way. I'll take a couple minutes.
Sure. So first, I thank Chief Glenn for nominating me to go to the National Academy, and I appreciate all the support from the board as well. Great experience, the 11 weeks I was down there. My courses focused on constitutional law, forensic science, leadership theory, as well as fitness for law enforcement. The professional networking that you make there too is amazing. You know, if there's something that we encounter tomorrow that we haven't dealt with, I can easily text somebody who definitely has encountered it. So it's a great resource to lean on. It's also very valuable just to see all the resources that we can get from the FBI if needed as well. So like Chief said, it was a great experience for me, but also for the agency as a whole. It's great, and hopefully in the future we can continue to send people to that. So I appreciate it very much.
Great job. Just as a further note, that we should note that the Chief and Deputy Chief are both graduates of the National Academy. That speaks volumes about our police department, so congratulations, gentlemen.
Thank you.
You spoke about the Yellow Brick Road. What is that?
So it's you know, it's a big like team building obstacle course, I would call it, toward the end. You do a series of fitness challenges throughout the program, kind of all culminates to that final challenge. The Academy's at a Marine Corps base in Quantico. It's a portion of the Marines endurance course, so it's about 2.5 miles of their obstacle course,
Oh,
and
nice,
then a
nice.
4-mile run on the back end. So it's about 6 miles total. really good team building. It was a great experience.
Oh, very good, very
Excellent.
good. Thank you.
We're happy to have him back, and I can sit back and he can take on all the hard work. So I'll start with our budget. We're currently at 41.5% expended this fiscal year after 5 complete months. So we're in good shape overall. We're under our targeted budget cap month to month and paycheck to paycheck. We're tracking our overtime closely, as we've been talking about for the last few months. It's trending high this year, this fiscal year. The biggest driver of that overtime being high is dispatch expense on overtime. We've been short dispatchers for basically 3 or 4 years. We'll hire a dispatcher, and for some reason we'll either wash them out in the background or through training, or somebody will leave. We haven't been full staffed in our dispatch center for quite some time. Deputy Chief and Captain Wozniak have been working on that recently, the last 6 months to a year, and we're confident over the next few months we'll be up to full staff, and that will even out. But like every year, we make cuts in overtime to balance that out. So something we're keeping an eye on, but it's certainly something that is trending high. Everything else, all the other lines, we're in good shape. I know all your packets have the current budget that you provided. Does anybody have any questions as far as the budget goes? In terms of new personnel, Officer Taria Deloro is off field training. She's on her own. She's doing a great job. She will have performance evaluations every month, as all officers do when they're still on probation. She's a good addition. She was a certified officer from the town of Greenwich that you all swore in a few months ago. She's doing a nice job. On December 9th, we attended the graduation at the Post Academy, which is held at Central Connecticut State University. That was for Officer Aviles and Officer Camputaro. They graduated in good standing. Officer Aviles was ranked number 1 in his class. He was given an award for that, and will be given another award next year, the Chief Luciano Award for coming out number 1 as far as grade point average. So we're happy to see that, and both those officers are on field training now. We also attended the Milford Police Academy graduation on December 15th. That was for Officer Soda and Officer Diaz. They're on field training now as well. All 4 are doing very well. We have 1 recruit in the Hartford Police Academy. That's Recruit Sergeant. Her graduation is scheduled for the mid to end of January. And 1 recruit in Waterbury's Police Academy, and that graduation should be the end of February or early March. And we still have 2 recruits early on in their academy process at Post, and with a graduation date scheduled for late April. Our traffic requests, our report. We have a request for a stop sign at the intersection of Drazen Drive and Randall Drive. You were all, I believe, given the report on that from Sergeant DeBescale, who always does a nice job looking into that. There used to be a stop bar painted there on the street that's faded away, so we're going to take care of that over the next few weeks, depending on weather. We're going to paint that stop bar again. And after an evaluation of the intersection, does not specifically meet the criteria for a stop sign, a new stop sign. However, after looking at the entire neighborhood and human behavior, if you're traveling through the neighborhood and you're used to pulling up to the similar intersections with stop signs, my recommendation would be to install a stop sign there to be consistent with the rest of the neighborhood. Like I said, between human nature and the complaints, the safety complaints, that would be my recommendation for consideration for a motion.
Okay. Having read the report itself, I think that I would probably tend to agree, especially with your recommendation. As he always said, his reports are always very, very thorough and accurate as well. So I'd entertain any discussion on that? Anybody, we all in agreement with that? Putting up a stop sign? Okay, can I entertain a motion to put up a stop sign as the chief recommends?
Make a motion to add the stop sign to
Okay.
Drazen and Randall.
And you're going to repaint the stop bar as well, obviously, as well. Okay. Seconded, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Great, thank you.
Something that we discussed over the last few months, Homewood Avenue and Harvard Turnpike. We talked about moving, it's been a priority intersection as far as a decent number of crashes there. So Sergeant DeBascal again recommended, and we put this into play, didn't need a vote, but we moved the stop sign closer to Hartford Turnpike and the stop bar is up. Since then, there hasn't been any problems. It's been a short period, not enough for, too much of a small sample size to really evaluate it, but it looks like it could potentially impact that intersection in a positive way.
Yep.
So that's been done already.
I can tell you, not to interrupt you, but that has worked amazingly, because I travel that path to and from, and it has made a significant difference in line of sight and visibility, so I think it's a good idea.
And I came from Sergeant DeBescale and Officer Cantelli, who's also in the traffic
Yep.
division.
Good call.
Yeah. The traffic control replacement on Universal Drive has been completed. That was a $6,000 cost to our budget that we did not have budgeted, but that has been completed. Obviously an important project, especially this time of year, to keep traffic flowing on Universal Drive. Recently, Sergeant DePascale was contacted, as you're all aware already, regarding the Hartford Turnpike and Tully's Road intersection. The Commission voted on endorsing an engineer evaluation of that intersection. It's a very tricky intersection because of grade and slope coming up from Tully's Road onto Hartford Turnpike. There's only a stop sign on Tully's Road, not on Hartford Turnpike. There were 31 crashes there in the last 5 years, a number of crashes with injuries there. So with the assistance of the town engineer, we consulted with an outside engineer. They did an evaluation. We sat in on the report, the evaluation this past week. And there's a number of concerns there. Not only the grade, the slope, there's drainage problems with catch basins, some pavement problems, there's signage issues. So we approved on our end for them to continue the evaluation and come back to us with recommendations for improvements. So once those improvements or recommendations for improvements come back, we'll report back to the commission, and they're confident that there's some low-cost solutions. There's always high-cost solutions, but we'll have a combination of a few different ideas, and we'll come back to the commission with those. We received delivery of our 4 Chevy Tahoes for this fiscal year. All 4 brand new Chevy Tahoes. They're outside in the front parking lot, if you didn't notice that coming in. And we're in the process of upfitting all 4 of those vehicles. We anticipate getting them all 4 on the road, completely upfitted by mid-January, which will be a big help. Onboarding more officers, it's important to have new vehicles, and hopefully the Board of Finance and the Commission, everyone involved, supports our request for the budget for an additional 4 vehicles for next fiscal year. It's very important. We've been talking about our regional traffic enforcement. That is over for this year. We're going to shut that down for the winter months for safety reasons. But there's been an article published in some local newspapers that highlighted the efforts. And there were 23 deployments throughout the 6 different towns, over 1,300 traffic stops. It's been very well received, and I think it's a really low-cost, efficient way to increase traffic stops and really educate the public on safety issues. And our traffic maintenance man, Michael DeSera, has retired. He's officially retired after 36 years of service to the town. He's the kind of employee who really is a quiet employee and dedicated employee, and most quiet and dedicated people really go unknown and do a lot more than most people realize. So we'd like to wish him congratulations, well wishes on his retirement, and he did a nice job for us for a very long time, and we'll be looking to fill that position after the new year. We'll be interviewing other individuals who apply, and that's an open application at this time. I'd like to congratulate Commissioner Hannon on his reappointment to the parking violation hearing officer. If you'd like to expand on that very important role.
It's, if there's any conflicts or concerns of tickets being issued by our department, they can come and see me, and we can discuss it and go from there.
And ensure that the fine is paid.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah.
Congratulations. Under training, we had 8 officers over a span of 4 different days go for station days at the different academies that our recruits are in. It's a very important part of the training aspect. We have seasoned, well-trained, experienced officers go interact with the recruits and spend a day with them. So we look forward to continuing that cooperation with the academies. We had a number of 2 or 3 officers, I don't have the exact number, become firearms instructors and attend advanced firearms instructor classes over the last 2 months. We hosted in this room a regional recertification class. That's a 40-hour class the entire week here. The week prior to that, we had a SWAT team leader class, and that was not just regional, but there were multi-state team leaders here, and that was a NTOA class that was hosted by us. So in terms of activity since the last meeting, cost for service, we're at $26,492. After 5 months, last year we're at $26,452, so very similar, right on cue compared to last year. But compared to the year before and the 4 years prior to that, we're right around 20,000, so almost 7,000 more cost for service this year and last year compared to the previous 4 or 5 years. So we're still trending high. Total arrests are much higher than last year. What's driving that mostly is arrests for larcenies, all larceny categories, shoplifting, stolen vehicles, larcenies from vehicles. It's really driving it up. So crime is obviously up, as we've been talking about for the past year and a half. The cost for service is also up, continues to trend upwards. Not just crime, but just helping out the public, serving the community in general. I have no request for the Canary Scholarship this evening. And the chairman touched on our holiday toy drive. It's a success. There's been a number of articles in the local papers of other agencies having trouble getting donations for toys for the holiday season. But you know, we've collected a number of toys. Only did one Stuffer Cruiser event in Target Plaza. Other than that, it's been local businesses, toy boxes throughout the community and our lobby, and we're overwhelmed with the generosity of everyone. It's been a great success. Officer Steven Sudak is the officer who leads that every year, and he's done a great job, so thanks to him. And the last thing before executive session, we have to discuss next year's meeting dates and times. I believe all the commissioners have that in front of you. If you have any questions, concerns, or entertain a motion.
So, yeah, so this is the same schedule that we've had for years and years and years, so,
Just one modification. Instead of
with these-
November being the third week, December is going to be the only month next year. That's going to be the third week. Every other month will be the fourth Tuesday.
perfect. So with that, we'll entertain a motion for acceptance of the new schedule for the police commission meeting for the calendar year 2023.
So moved.
Second? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Good. That's it? Okay, so any other comments, questions? I have a motion to go into executive session for discussion of personnel matters.
So move second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Beautiful. Okay, we are back in session now, regular session, after having that discussion in executive session. In part of our executive session, we did discuss making a conditional offer for Officer Joe Sordy to become a supernumerary. Can I entertain a motion to offer that position?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make an offer, conditional offer to Joe Sordy as a supernumerary for the police department here in North Haven.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'd also like to I'd like to congratulate Officer Avila for finishing number one. I know the board is very, very proud of his efforts. It takes a lot of hard work to finish number one in anything, so congratulations to him. And in closing, I'd like to wish everybody a happy Hanukkah, a Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Three Kings Day, Happy New Year's. Stay safe, be healthy, and we'll see you soon. With that, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Beautiful.
The preceding program is brought to you in part through a grant from the town of North Haven. Watch town meetings or other videos on demand at nhtv.com.